Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite paintings that I've done. I wish I could do another one, but I don't know if I can duplicate it. But I love how this mountain is just partly in there, and then the trees over here and the clouds. But this was when I was practicing painting my mural on the other wall in the kitchen. I put a 4x8 sheet of plywood on the wall, and I added another section, and then I painted some arches, 3 arches, and then I painted different paintings in each one just to see what kind of style I liked. And I liked them so well when I took them off to paint the real mural that I had to keep them. So I had this wood came from our shed outside. It was the trim to the shed that had been built for the owners before us. And so I wanted it to look like, you know, extend our bedroom out into the wild. I really love this tree. It could be a pinyon pine, it could be a ponderosa, but whatever it is, it's really been hammered by the weather. These are for sale too if anybody wants them. I have another one in the other room. I'll show you this quilt first though. So we made this bed too. We made this bed with a chisel, and we made a wooden mallet so we could chisel the tenons. We used a drill to drill the holes. So, and that's the only thing that, well, I guess we put a few screws in too. But, so we've had this bed for, I don't know, 20 years. So my friend Anne Marie has a friend who made these squares. So, can you see these squares?
She already made it? Oh, she made them?
She made them and she didn't like them. This is kind of when I was in the into the southwestern things. She made these squares. There were 9 of them. And she didn't like them and she didn't want them. So she asked Anne Marie if she wanted them, and I was with her, and I said, yeah, I make stuff out of used things. So I got these squares and I looked at the pattern in them, and I saw this like God's eye, this God's eye pattern here. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna make squares that have a God's eye in it. So I did that. And then they had this pattern, right here. Oh, it's right here. This pattern right here. These are 2 different color, of course. But I wanted to do strip quilting, so I figured out on some graph paper how to make each strip so I could just sew strips together. So this is the same size as this, and these are the equal sizes, and then there are these small ones. So anyway, it's hard to explain,
but
but
makes sense.
this is strip quilting, and so I just sewed these 4 strips together, and that made the stair step. And then this was also in there too. This pattern is not in there, but this is a frequent pattern of it's not in there. This is a frequent pattern in a ring. Like the middle diamond is big, and the ones on the side are smaller, and they symbolize something like God and you and your spouse. You know, as long as you have God as one of your partners, then your marriage should work, and things like that. Or they mean God the Father, Jesus Christ, the Holy Ghost. Can mean whatever you want. Me, my husband, my best friend. Things like that. So, yeah, this has quite a bit of symbolism in it. And then I just chose to do this diagonal pattern on it because it looks really cool. So this is my third one. You can see it's way different than the other two because it's has quaking aspen in it and a big rock and things, but and then I wanted it to look like a window to match the other three, and has some moss on it and has a big red blob on it or something. Sometimes I think things are a fluke because this is the first these are my first paintings I've ever done. I think I've done, I don't know, my finger painting and other things, but these were my first paintings. I don't know if I can do it again.
It's pretty good for your first painting. Pretty much, right there.
Yeah. So anyway.
So awesome.
Ciao.